Hi there everybody, and welcome back yet again to the Joe Nerd's Toy Room. I am really trying hard to break this hiatus I have going on here. My head just really has not been in it lately, guys, for reviewing due to various personal problems, but I decided I really have to, pardon me, get past that and really, work my way back into this, work my way back into the gist of doing these video reviews, because it's something that I was really enjoying doing. So what I'm doing now is I'm heading back to one of my more popular subjects, Masters of the Universe vintage action figures. This piece, it's a near mint. I'd say it's fairly near mint Mekaneck figure that first of all, I have to give a really big shout out to one of my best friends, the Plastic Junkie, for giving me this, selling me this Mekaneck for next to nothing. So now the Plastic Junkie, he recently has acquired, through his talent for sniffing out cool toys. This guy's amazing. I don't know how he does it. He talks to all kinds of people. He finds these treasures. And he just recently bought a really big Masters of the Universe vintage collection from a collector who is selling his childhood toys. What basically the Plastic Junkie did is he went through the collection, took out what he needed for his own personal collection, and then was going to sell off everything else, and gave me first pick of everything that was available there. And one of those things I picked was this Mekaneck. I'm going to be doing reviews of the other ones that I acquired from the Plastic Junkie, but first I decided to start with the and believe me, there's some real exciting ones that I got. But I decided to start with this one. Because, I kind of want to work my way up. Not that I think, and I don't mean that to sound like an insult towards Mekaneck here, by saying he's the least exciting of the bunch that I got. But I think, maybe that says something for the bunch of figures that I got from the Plastic Junkie, is that they are so good and so exciting that Mekaneck, as good as he is, he ends up being the least exciting of the bunch that I got. So, with Mekaneck here, I'm gonna snap on his armor. So, first thing, before I move him, there's one thing I'm going to explain. This sample of Mekaneck is very nice. I hope you can tell with this picture. His goggles are very nice. They're not scratched at all. They're still very mirrory, very reflective, very nice. And all the way throughout, like his hands have, this hand here has minor little scratching at the tips of his fingers, and he has a little bit of minor scratching at the toes of his boots. Now, however, there is one kind of major flaw with this sample, and when I pick him up, I'm pretty sure those of you with a keen eye will notice it, that he's very loose here. His elastic band, unfortunately, I don't really know why it is so loose. I guess it's just a little bit stretched out, but he still stands perfectly, as you could tell. See, look at that. Effortlessly, he stands. So, I was going to pass on him at first, but then when I looked closely at him, especially the mirror vac metallization of his goggles, and how perfect he was in every other way besides for that elastic band, I decided to buy him anyhow. And like I said earlier, the Plastic Junkie, generosity is his middle name. He sold me this guy for next to nothing, so I could not go wrong. So anyway, let's snap on the armor. decided to give you a little view of what he looks like without the armor, in case you've never really seen it, but who am I kidding? Everybody has. There we go. Now he's looking like the Mekaneck we all remember a little bit more. So, yeah, he's just all around really nice. Nice colors. You know, and Mekaneck, for me, he's kind of a character and figure that I always liked him when I was a kid, but he was never, I don't know, he's kind of a character that I've grown to love more throughout the years, and now as an adult fan and collector, he's one of my favorites. Yeah. And now, the main gimmick for this figure, in case some of you guys out there watching this aren't familiar with this figure, you know, I'll give you a little a little glimpse of his special features. So he was called Mekaneck, and basically the only feature he had was his extending or periscoping neck. He was described as the heroic human periscope, I believe. So what you did was you twisted his waist and his head would pop up. And, you know, not really, I'll admit, it doesn't go up very, very long, you know. But, hey, let's face it, it was late 1983 or early 1984. Did I say 83? Hope I said 83 and not 93. My brain is just all over the place here. It's a struggle to concentrate on this damn review, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, late 1983, early 1984, I believe, is when this figure came out. I was a little puzzled by that, by the way, guys. I could have sworn that I remember Mekaneck coming out in 1983, but here on the internet I looked at He-Man.org, which is a website that I trust 100%. They have him as a 1984 figure, so hey, I'm sure that they're right. I'm sure that I'm just mistaken. But anyway, there you go. There he is, neck extended. Now, for accessories. Oh, and before I keep going, guys, I do want to continue with the packaging first when I can, but obviously I do not have the packaging for Mech here. So, so we have to skip the packaging, but I do have a copy of the mini comic that originally came with this figure. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Now, accessories. Mekaneck, besides his removable chest armor, and by the way, for those who aren't familiar and are curious, this chest armor, if it looks familiar to some of you guys out there, yeah, it is in fact the original usage of this chest armor mold that they utilized later for Stinkor. But this was the first time they used this particular chest armor. So then besides that, you've got this yellow club, which is very interesting. It's very like techno. It gives a real technological look to it. And one little thing I wanted to draw attention to is in the center of it, it is hollow, like almost like you could plug something in there. And I was always kind of curious about what that was all about when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I actually used to think maybe it was so it could be used as, besides being a club, a weapon, it could be used like as a torch for like if he's exploring caves or anything like that. I just pictured a little bit of a flame coming out of the top, you know, it's something. And then, but later, pardon me, later I started to think maybe it could be something different. I'm wondering if by any chance, when this guy was made, if Mattel had in mind to have him come maybe with a second accessory, or maybe a second little tip that could plug into the hole to kind of extend his club, to make the club longer, to go along with his extending neck gimmick, you know? It's just something I never thought of until just very recently. It's funny how when we grow up into adulthood, we start to think about things a little more in depth. We give it just a little more thought than we used to when we were kids, you know. So to make it a little easier, I'm going to bring his neck back down. Come on, baby. There we go. And let's give him his club. And there we go. Yeah. And there he is, Mekaneck, fully armed with his club. So yeah, and as far as the mini comic goes, now obviously I don't have the mini comic that, I do have a copy of the mini comic, that is. I don't have the one that originally came with this specimen, of course, but I believe it was this comic, if memory serves. I was just on He-Man.org. I really should have verified, but I am 99% sure, guys, that I remember Mekaneck coming with this mini-comic, He-Man and the Insect People. Now, this is a very, very old mini-comic. This really, when you look inside of it, you can really tell its age. It was the artist was Alfredo Alcala. Very, very popular among Masters of the Universe fans, you know. Iconic artist, you know, especially what with his rendering of Skeletor's face. Skeletor is not in this mini comic though, but anyway, yeah, that's about it. It's a pretty, really, it's quite a nice mini comic. Looking at it again really brings back a lot of childhood memories, you know. So yeah, and this is a really old comic. Look at this, guys. It's like falling apart. As I remember when I had gotten this particular comic, it had suffered some water damage. I don't know if you could see here, there's a little bit of color rippling right here due to it. So what it was is it suffered some water damage, and then when it dried, it became pretty brittle to the point that the glue just came undone, and it's just falling off of its... falling right apart. But anyway, yeah, that's about it, guys. So that was the mini comic that came with him, and I believe it came with Buzz Off as well. So anyway, there you go, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed this little review of Mekaneck, and once again, thank you very much, Plastic Junkie. You're a good friend, a true collecting friend, a true plastic friend. So anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed again. And thanks all for watching and being patient for me as I struggle through this hiatus. And yeah, I'll talk to you all in the very, very near future. Bye for now.